Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, a place where you can find everything you want to know. Without any extension, let's get started. On February 3rd, 2022, SpaceX unveiled 49 new Starlink satellites from the Kennedy Space Station in Florida into the subway. To date, only 9 of those satellites are still active. Some are destroyed by the storm. The launch of these new satellites did not go as planned and cost the company an estimated $100 million. This comes as a major contribution to SpaceX. Damaged satellites re-entered the Earth's atmosphere as the company ensured that as a result of this, there would be no orbital debris of any kind. The geomagnetic storm increased the temperature and density of the atmosphere, and as a result, satellites were higher than before the space company once again tried to save the satellites by flying Medjon, but to no avail. The satellites are being released at their proper direction, about 130 miles or 130 kilometers above the Earth's surface after launch. According to the organization, the reason for choosing this height was to avoid future collisions with other satellites. The atmosphere of the type of recovery technology fails very quickly. If the satellites break after being used at that altitude and are unable to raise their orbits to higher elevations, and that is a good precaution. These geomagnetic storms are caused by strong solar winds that change the plasma current in the planet's magnetosphere. They may last a few minutes or hours and are caused by the release of magnetic fields associated with sunspots. On February 1st and 2nd, a solar storm that swept away satellites occurred, and its powerful effects were observed. On February 3rd, a hurricane added kinetic energy to the Earth's atmosphere, which led to an increase in the atmosphere that led to the launch of new satellites harder than the previous launch. Scientists around the world have been amazed that SpaceX did not consider the issue and postpone the launch. SpaceX has nearly 2,000 satellites already orbiting the Earth. These satellites are responsible for providing internet access worldwide. We hope that this small ban will not crowd out SpaceX's first plan to place 12,000 of these satellites connecting the star in space. A portion of the SpaceX rocket that exploded 7 years ago and was released into space after completing its mission will crash on the dark side of the moon in March. Experts say the Falcon 9 booster was launched in 2015, but after completing its mission, it did not have enough fuel to return to Earth, but instead remained in space. Astronomer Jonathan McDowell says it will be the first time that uncontrolled rocket collisions have been identified, but the effects will be minimal. Since 2015, the rocket has been drawn by various gravitational forces of the moon and sun, making its path in chaos, explains Professor McDowell from the American-based Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. Professor McDowell says it's been dead just following the laws of gravity. It combined millions of other pieces of space debris thrown into space after completing a mission without enough energy to return to Earth. Over the past decade, there have been about 50 major events that we have lost track of that may happen many times before we see them. This will be the first confirmed case. Astronomer Bill Gray, who had been observing the rocket and the moon after the rocket stage revolved around the gray moon, saw it again and concluded that it would crash on the dark side of the moon on March 4th at a speed of more than 5,500 miles per 9,000 miles an hour. Gray urged the novice star community to join him in watching the booster, and his conclusion was confirmed that the exact time and place of the impact would change slightly in his forecast, but there is widespread agreement that there will be a collision on the moon that day. Even if the conflict is observed on Earth, Gray says it will probably not be noticed, but space enthusiasts believe the impact could provide important data. It is believed that the event will allow for the exploration of underground rocket launchers, while Gray says it aims for the impact of the moon. So what happens between now and March 4th? However, the rocket will continue to follow the laws of gravity. Not to miss any SpaceX news, subscribe and turn on the notifications. See you in the next video. Kudos